Yo guys, what is going on? JPS back for another video, and today we're going to be reacting to 4 things Americans always get wrong about Germany. So hopefully I can remedy or correct any of my preconceptions before I even go to help for the trip to go a bit more smoothly. And also to learn about this because it's going to be really interesting to see if maybe I had thought these things before even viewing this video. Something I learned really recently, thanks to someone in the comment section and to someone in real life who told me who had been to Germany, was that I really need to avoid the casual small talk. For example, if I ask a German, hey, how are you? Which in the United States would really just be a way of saying hi and then you continue about your day. The Germans are going to want it to engage in a conversation, and that is an actual catalyst for the beginning of a conversation and interaction. You don't just keep walking. That would be considered rude. So I'm really glad you guys told me about that because I definitely would have done that. So that's awesome. That's a perfect example right there of something that I just recently learned that is going to help me so much on this trip. But anyways, let's get right into this. Of course, there's a million things I can't predict or learn and that I'll have to learn there. And that's the beautiful thing about traveling is you learn so many new things. Anyways, I'm excited to get into this, guys. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and let's get it.
I'm like, this makes no sense because in the United States, people make fun of station wagons. And in Germany, it's like, boah, geil, hast du mein Kombi gesehen? And I'm just like, hi everyone, what is up? My name is Haley. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you did not know, now you do. Hey you guys, what's up? So in today's video, y'all, I'm going to be talking about 4 things Americans always get wrong about Germany or Germans. Now, I've made a few videos like this before on my channel talking about both sides. Things that Germans get wrong about Americans all the time and things that Americans get wrong about Germans all the time. But I have 4 new points that I feel like are quite interesting. Hopefully they are. There might be discussion points in there as well. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Now, when it comes to Germany, you guys, I am pretty protective. And usually I gotta put on my kitty cat claws when I go to the United States and people find out that I'm from Germany and they ask me or bombard me with information that is maybe ill-informed, misconstrued, or just lacking I don't even know, lacking intelligence altogether. So the first one is going to be the German language and pronunciation. Something that really irks my nerves, and I've talked about this a little bit before, is when people say German is a hard language, but they've never tried to study the language. I mean, the language is hard. 1000% it is very difficult, but I dislike when people make fun of the language and they don't have any understanding of what they're talking about. I feel like before I came to Germany, I was maybe like this, and I feel like it's just growth. Like it takes time for you to understand something and then you're like, oh, I was like that before. I'm so glad I've grown and matured. But a lot of Americans are like this. They have no idea about the German language and they maybe make fun of it. Or they say, oh, this is how you say this in German language. And I'm like, that's not correct at all. And the thing about this point that maybe bothers me the most is when people say something about the German language or are pronouncing it wrong and then make fun of it based on their wrong pronunciation or their wrong understanding of the German language. And I'm just like, don't do that. At the end of the day, when you are learning a new language or you're curious about a new language, you have to be open, I would say, to the different pronunciations, the different words, the different combinations, the vocabulary, alphabet, and all that good stuff, and not automatically equate to making fun of it. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people do, especially when they don't know that much about something. The first attack or the first line of defense is humor. But for me, like the German language, I make fun of it sometimes. I feel like I can though because I understand it, not professionally, not fluently, but I do know it to an extent that I can make jokes and crack jokes about it. But I feel people that don't have any understanding about the German language, German culture, anything like that, and then make fun of it and then pronounce stuff wrong and always want to put that in my face. This is something that Americans like to do. It's like, oh, I know how to say this or that, and then they say it completely wrong with a completely fake German accent, and I'm like, this isn't funny. The next point is going to be
The thing about that is not just Germany, though. Americans will make fun of any language that isn't English or any culture that isn't inherently American or anything that is outside of the United States borders because like she said, it's kind of the first line of defense because a lot of people don't know anything about anything outside of the country, which is very unfortunate. And that is exactly why I created this channel, is to hopefully break that stereotype that lots of people hold concerning Americans that don't, Europeans specifically, may not think Americans are willing to go out of their comfort zone and look at other ways of life. That's why this channel was started, guys. And hopefully what I really need to do is start getting Americans to watch these videos and create a movement, because that would make a big change, I feel like.
A controversial point, you guys, and this is something that I've gotten into many heated debates with people in the United States about, you guys, and I get into heated debates on my YouTube channel about this as well, and it's people asking me about the refugee crisis. I don't know if I've talked about this on my channel before, you guys, and I'm not really gonna go into a deep dive here on this YouTube channel, but something that Americans always get wrong, or they always ask me about, and there's always this ill intention behind it, is like, are you walking with the refugees on the street, Haley? Do they go into the store with you? Are there refugees in the store with you? And I'm just like, they're just like immigrants in the United States. Of course they're gonna be on the street with me, walking on the street with me, and in the store with me. Yeah, but in the United States, one of the big, I guess, Germany topics from 2015 to even going into 2018 was talking about the economic refugee crisis in Germany. And people only had that information. It's very hard to get information from other sources when you are based in the United States, and we have privatized media just pushing out their image of what they want into the world, into the United States. And so they only had what was given to them. When I tell people stories about me working with refugees in Germany, not having any bad experiences, having generally positive experiences with the people that I worked with or came into contact with, they can't believe it. They can't believe that I was actually in the same spot as a refugee and living life and being fine. This is something that I hate talking about to Americans because they haven't been here. And I always think to myself, I always want to pose the question of, how are refugees supposed to live? Are they supposed to be locked in cages at the border like in the United States? Or should they be trying to live life, a normal, regular life like everyone else in the country? And also a sub point for this, and it's always Americans, and I understand why it's Americans, and I try to be understanding because of our concept when it comes to race. But when I talk about brown people or black people in Germany, people automatically assume that they're immigrants. And they're like, yeah, but they're not really German. And I'm like, oh no, they're German. Yeah. They are German. And they're like, no, but they're not German. And I'm just like, what do you mean? They were born in Germany. They have a German passport. They have been brought up in the German system. They are German. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys, but I feel like this is a different topic for a different video, but it's very interesting to see this playing out, especially now since I've lived in Germany and my ideas about like race, ethnicity, and all of these things have become jumbled together and mixed and are very different than, let's say, 5 years ago. And it's very interesting to hear Americans talk about race, especially when my views have changed so drastically. But this is something that, you know, Americans always get wrong when it comes to Germany. Refugees, immigrants, how are they living? And also black people in Germany, they can't be German. And so the next point, you guys, is going to be something that I've...
Bro, the line between race and ethnicity, like, they've just been used so interchangeably, especially in the United States, that it's like, I literally couldn't even tell you when one or the other is more appropriate in specific situations, because they're just used so interchangeably. And then now you see like nationality being thrown into that jumble. Of course they're gonna, everything that she's been saying so far is just like, I can literally, I'm picturing someone asking it to her because of how on brand that is coming from an American. It's just, oh my God, bro. Sometimes I really dislike some of the people here.
German. And so the next point, you guys, is going to be something that I feel like continuously talked about on my channel, and it's that Germany taxes everyone 70%, 90%, 100% of their income. And this is something that I've seen the government officials in the United States do when talking about socialism, communism, tax rates, trying to stop raising tax rates and trying to use this as a counterpoint. Like, look at Germany. Look at the people over there. They're paying 90% of their income. They're paying 70% of their taxes, and their income is going towards the government. And oh my gosh, those people have no money. Now, granted, Germany's tax rate might be decent, might be hefty, might be high. I could even say that it could be high. But when you factor in other things like 401k, I think pensions, maybe we can throw it in there, homeowners insurance, federal tax, state tax, county tax, I'm trying to think, daycare, all of these other things that are maybe not as high in Germany as they are in the United States, or even virtually non-existent in Germany. You're usually looking at the same amount of money. So granted, Germans may be taxed 50%, let's say, but they don't have such high bills like you do in the United States for
like health insurance, bro. Like, yes, we don't get taxed, but yes, we get taxed. They're literally taxing us with how high these damn prices are. And people lose their minds in this country when it comes to taxes. They lose their minds, guys. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. Why is that? Well, if you look back in history, taxes have kind of led to the making of this country, but people don't realize, like, for me, what should be important, let's look at a country's average life expectancy. Let's look at how happy most of the citizens are in that place. That should be what's important, and see how they're doing that. Okay, if they're using all these taxes, then maybe that's the best way to go. Because for me, living life, I'm looking for happiness. I'm not looking for all this money, and it sounds like I need to move. Sounds like I need to move.
For certain things. And so over the years, I think comparing both of these places, it's really hard for people to hear that at the end of the day, you're going to be spending the same amount of money. And in some places you might be getting a little bit more, but in other places you might be getting a little bit more or less. Like in Germany, you're going to get healthcare, you're going to get school, you're going to get these types of things. And in the United States,
crazy,
you're going to have to pay a shit ton of money for daycare. And so at the end of the day, it's something that I hate arguing about, because we could always go back and forth and find this and that and this money and that money, and it makes no sense because they're totally different societies and totally different economies and totally different types of people that live in each place. Each place has its pros and cons, and when I get into the tax aspect of it, it's always like very superficial and like surface level, and I'm like, you have to dig a little deeper and you have to be able to think outside of the box when it comes to this end number and what you're getting out of it, and also in the United States what you're not getting out of your end number, because you're also paying taxes in the United States. The last and final point,
but this is the most frustrating part about that. It shouldn't be thinking outside of the box. It should be common sense. This shit, like, it just upsets me, bro. Because this is not difficult stuff. But these are grown adults with grown jobs, with grown families who are believing these things. Because they're force-fed whatever the media throws at them, and they gobble it up. So if paying taxes is bad, then in the United States, then people are just going to believe that. This flight needs to take off, bro. I need to get out of here for a little bit. I need a break.
You guys, and we're going to finish with a funny point, because I feel like the last 2 points have caused me a little
me too.
heart problems, y'all. This one is going to be that Germans love their sport cars. Now, this is very true. I mean, where are you going to be driving that you're going to have a Porsche, that you're going to have a Mercedes, that you're going to have a BMW and Audi driving just constantly past you on the highway? Not in the United States. You're going to have the 1980 Toyota Corolla with a hubcap missing. The window taped with, what is it called, a garbage can,
garbage
going
bag.
down I-75,
I think blowing in the
20 miles
wind.
under the speed limit because the car can't go any faster. I understand why people think this.
In the left lane.
It is true to an extent, but I feel like one of the most popular cars in Germany is a Kombi. And if you're an American, you're probably wondering what a Kombi is, because you've probably never heard this before, and you've also probably never seen this before in the United States, because it's very rare. It is, let me see if I know what the word is, a Kombinationskraftwagen. Now, better known in English American terms as a station wagon. Now, when I first got to Germany, y'all, I was shocked. I felt like I was transported into a national
Nah, station wagons, they do have kind of, they get a bad rep in the United States for sure.
Lampoon's movie scene.
There she is. Where? Right here, the wagon.
I have never seen station wagons before in my life since living in Germany. I mean, when I was younger, in the 90s, they were maybe still trucking. You know, people had them from the 70s or 80s and they were still pushing. But now, 2022, just not something you will see. And so I feel like Europe, more specifically Germany, is one of the only markets that keeps station wagons alive. I remember having a conversation with a group of guys and I was asking them what their dream cars were. I swear to you, all of them had combis on their list. I was like, y'all are young, y'all have no children, what the hell? Why are y'all picking grandpa cars? Why are you picking these automobiles on your wish list for cars to want? I'm like, this makes no sense, because in the United States, people make fun of station wagons. And in Germany, it's like, boah, geil, hast du mein Kombi gesehen? And I'm just like,
If you're thinking of taking the tribe cross country, this is the automobile you should be using, the Wagon Queen family truckster. You think you hate it now, but wait till you drive it.
but I feel like in Germany, station wagons are the most efficient car. They aren't as, how do you say, big and massive as a truck or SUV, but they can still fit a lot. A lot of them have all-wheel drive, so you can drive it in the winter through the snow. A lot of them just have, like I said, a lot of space. If you have children, it's very nice, and you can transport a lot of things, you can tow a lot of things, and it's just a multifunctional car, you guys. Yeah. It's something that can do everything. And
It's a multifunctional, economical car. If they didn't have such the bad stigma in the United States, I'm sure they'd be equally popular. But that's the thing, we all love to follow trends. I mean, that's everyone, though. Everyone's going to follow trends.
There are also versions of a Kombi, of a station wagon in Germany, that are on the luxury sports wagon side. You have things like the Audi RS6 Avant.
And that looks really good.
Optics, you guys, and the Nardo gray. Y'all, that is a sexy car. I do have to say.
Bro, someone... Guys, spam her comments, please. I want a collaboration video. Literally everything. This is the second video I've watched from this channel, and every single thing that Haley Alexis has said, I have wholeheartedly agreed with. If I've been able to have this experience to agree with it, because some of the stuff she's talking about is living in Germany and stuff, and I have no idea. But when it comes to, because I believe she lived in Florida, we have a lot of in common. So a collaboration video, I think we need it, bro. That would be really fun. And I just want to talk to her because we share the same interests in Germany. She lived in Germany, and it'd be interesting. But this car, yeah, this car right here is sexy. Oh my God. I want that. That's my dream car now.
That is a sexy car. Or you have the Porsche Sports Turismo, I think it's what it's called. Panamera. I can never say. I always say Panorama. Panamera Sports Turismo. Oh my Lord. You have those types of station wagons, and you also have other versions as well. But you have ones that fit the niche of needing to go extremely fast and having the horsepower behind it and the power behind it to maybe keep up on the Autobahn with other types of sports cars. And I feel like there is a type of sports station wagon, not even a sports station. There is a station wagon for everyone, y'all, in Germany. And so I just think it's very interesting that a lot of people automatically assume that everyone loves sports cars here. Everyone drives sports cars here. And granted, I feel like that is maybe something that a lot of people strive for and a lot of people want, and a lot of people do drive it, but a lot of people want functionality, they want efficiency, and they want something that is an all-around decent car that will last a long time. And that's where a station wagon comes into play. And so yeah, those were all the points, the 4 points, you guys, of 4 things that I feel like I'm...
All right, well, that was a great video. I honestly didn't know. I've seen some things on Instagram with station wagons, because I like looking at cars sometimes. So I know they're pretty big in Europe, but I didn't know Germany was like super big with station wagons. So I'm sure we'll see some. I'm excited. I'm sure we'll hear them too. So yeah, that was 4 things Americans always get wrong about Germany. Can definitely see every single one of those points. Like I said, I was literally picturing an American having the conversation with her as she was saying them. So definitely fits the bill of what American would say about Germany. And it was a really, really interesting video, guys. So I love hearing her insights. And yeah, so if there's other videos you want me to check out, specifically from Haley Alexis or anywhere else, throw them in the comments down below. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, guys, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.